Here's going to be my exact hiring process from A to Z. I'm looking for a position right now for Ken McElroy, a motions graphic designer and potentially an editor. So first off, I posted a job board on onlinejobs.ph, which is usually the website that I like to use. And then I got a bunch of messages. These are not all new, but let's say I got 150, 200 new messages just for this job board. What I'm then going to do is I don't care about what anyone's done in the past. All I care about is what they can do for me. So I'll give every single person a trial task. The English might not be great. I'm going to give them a sample task. So this is a quick 2-minute sample task. And then what I'm going to have them do is do this. I want them to be creative. I want them to run into problems, see how they actually solve it. Then I'm going to have them email me to my work second email account. I'm giving these people a trial task, and I'm going to copy and paste this and send it to all 150 people who replied back. And then what I'm going to do is probably tomorrow, I'm going to see maybe 20 to 50 emails of people who actually completed this task. And again, I don't care, and most employers don't care about your resume, or small business employers don't care about what you can do, or don't care about what you've done in the past, or the college you went to, or your education. They care about the skills that you have. So I've never once hired someone based upon anything but the skills that they've provided. So I'm giving each of these people a trial task that their goal is going to be to complete this, send it to me. When they do, I'm going to hopefully get maybe 5 to 10 people who are really good. From there, what I'll do is I will hop on a call with every single one of them and see who I'll try and reverse engineer what they did and why they did it, because I'm looking for someone who has a good psychological reason as to what they're doing and why they're doing it. If these people can't explain to me what they did and why they did it, what's good and what's bad, how they would improve it if they had a week instead of a day to do this, what they would do differently if they had more time. I want to hear the whole 9 yards as to why they made the decisions that they made. And if they can't do that, and even if the video is really good, the position is probably not for them, because they need to be able to explain this stuff. It's incredibly, incredibly important. So I'm going to do this for probably the next 10 minutes because there's so many people who applied to this job. So I will see you guys after that. So I just finished that. And now the next step is to just wait 24 hours. And maybe, let's say there's nobody who's good enough. I don't just hire someone to hire someone. That was one of the biggest mistakes I've made in the past, and realized, okay, well, if the right people aren't responding to this job board, I need to, 1, change the task that I'm having people do, 2, change the directions, 3, change the pay, change the instructions, or I just need to look somewhere else. Sometimes you don't find anyone great, and that is the unfortunate situation. But I would not recommend just hiring someone for the sake of hiring them. It is not worth it. I've done that because I just said, oh, I need to build this team now, instead of playing the long game. And it has hurt my results in the short term, which is something that I swore to myself I would not do again. So we'll see how this works. But I suspect I'm going to find someone pretty darn well. If not, I have a few other strategies, but I don't think it will come to that. And especially if you're hiring quasi-medium skilled labor. It's not like I'm hiring a CEO, CFO, something in that position. That is where you just pay way more money and you don't hire them overseas. I would hire them in America because I'm looking for a much more high-skilled labor position. This is more follow the instructions and use some creative thought of your own, use the skills that you've developed. It's not really, you're not looking for a CEO for this type of role. So you can find someone very good, very talented overseas. And I've done that repetitively. We'll see how it ends up working though. But you could do this with so many different positions. And even I used to arbitrage labor, where I would be able to do something for, anyway. After a few days, I was going to record the conversations that I had with the people who I was going to go to the next level, but there was nobody who had a good enough trial task to even go on to an interview process. And I got a bunch back. So what's the next step? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leverage Ken's audience. I'm going to have him say, hey guys, we are looking for X position. And if you want to, you can apply here. That is going to be finding people who already like to consume, who are already mission oriented, who are already all on board for Ken, and then someone who hopefully their goal is to learn. So they would be in a similar position as me. So that's actually the best case situation. And that is one of the reasons why I started making a channel. So hopefully when I'm ready to expand, there's people who are already goal oriented, who have skill sets that I need, that I can talk to, that are already entrepreneurs of their own. That is the main reason why I do these types of videos, to hopefully find people to work with in the future. I am not expanding at the quickest rate right now, but I know that I will, and everything comes. And that is one of the best ways to find incredibly high level employees. I mean, just think about it. I literally got a freaking tattoo of some dude's logo on my leg. Took my first ever flight to meet him. Literally my first time on a plane when I was 18 years old. Got a tattoo of his logo on my leg, flew out and met him. If that is not the kind of employee that you want, I mean, every single person just wants their employees to want to work. So when they find people like that, that is the best case scenario. And when you are talking online, you find those crazy types of people who would do anything to work for you. Everyone reaches out to people to work for them for free. I don't think that's a very good strategy, because you don't provide any value. And I mean, I've literally tried to work for people for free hundreds and hundreds of times. I had to take drastic measures. That's why I got the tattoo, because that was something that was standing out. I actually was talking to someone today who I'm also going to be hiring for a different segment of something else. And what he did to start to work for someone super famous, he actually worked with Alex Hormozi. He worked with Cody Sanchez. He works with a lot of people in that space. And I'm hiring him to do something for me. The way that he did it is he built a landing page. Why I want to work for X. This was to get his first client, who's also pretty famous, but I'm not going to mention who it is. So he said, why I want to work for X. Here's why I think I would be good. Here's the skill set I would provide. Here's everything I would do. Here's how I would do it. And then he emailed that to every single person that works for this guy, because this was a guy who had a big company. And then he LinkedIn posted it and tagged every single person who worked for him. Twitter post. Every single person who worked for them then saw this landing page of him saying why he wants to work for the company. And eventually it got to the CEO and he got hired. And then he expanded his business. Now he's doing some great things. And that's how he started working for Alex Hormozi and all these other people. You have to think of unique solutions, especially if you're trying to work for someone like that. You have to already have a skill set that has been used to them. The problem with this is, or the problem with my hiring process here is, there was no one that had the skill set required. And I'm looking for the absolute top of what we were looking for. We are willing to pay a hell of a lot more, because everything's making a lot of money right now, to expand. So you hold out. You hold out. I've made the mistake too many times of hiring subpar people and getting bit for it later on into the future. Every single time that I've hired someone that I didn't think was going to be a rock star have never once turned out to be incredibly good at what they do. That is not saying every single person I've hired that I thought were going to be incredible were incredible, but usually if you don't think someone's going to be incredible at what they do, or they don't seem incredibly passionate, or it doesn't seem like they love it, or are not motivated, they are not. It's pretty much as simple as that. Anyway, I want to thank you guys if you are watching. You don't have to do that. You are choosing willingly to listen to a absolute nobody, and that is pretty cool. So thank you.